Hello there. My name is Cademan David. I'm the mastermind behind the animations you'll find on this YouTube channel. And by that I mean I'm just the guy who created them, who's really not a mastermind, probably. But I also uh, like to encourage other people to be creative. So that's sort of what I'm doing here with this video, is I want to encourage you to make some stuff and be creative about it. Um, but so this is me sharing with you um, something that I saw. One of my favorite comic book writers of all time, Scott Snyder. This is um, this is me reacting to something he says. Of course, the entire video of his will be linked down below. I highly recommend you watch it because I think this guy's absolutely brilliant. There's a lot of sort of creativeness that you can learn from him, I guess. All right, so this is Scott Snyder, one of my all-time favorite comic book authors. So I was just a little kid when the New 52 was coming out. So it's actually Scott Snyder's Batman that I think I see as being the definitive Batman. Um, but I absolutely love this guy's writing style. I think he's just a very good writer, and he's also just particularly special to me because the first comic book that I ever bought was right here. Um, it was in Rebirth when I was the most excited about DC Comics I've ever been, and it was that comic, All Star Batman, that was the one that I was following the most closely. Uh, so I absolutely love his writing style. He tends to do this thing where like he'll go into like the history of buildings in Gotham and stuff like that, and it's all very cool. So I absolutely love this guy, and anytime I've seen him in a interview, he's just had such a fun attitude towards stuff, and he seems to love comic books. Um, but anyway, I just wanted to share with you what he has to say, but also if you aren't familiar with his run in the New 52, pick it up. It's absolutely great. Um, so let's hear what he has to say.
This, which was obviously completely amazing. Um, uh, and uh, and it's late at night. Everybody in the house is asleep. If you are an aspiring writer or artist, this will basically be your life. You'll have your work day hopefully eventually, but especially when you're starting out, one of the things I wanted to say was, you have to make it something that you do at 5 in the morning before you go to your teaching job, or late at night when everyone's asleep and it's the last thing you feel like doing because you're exhausted and you have a million things you have to do for work. Writing is really an endurance race. It is not waiting for your muse and doing it when you feel inspired and just because you're talented. I don't feel like I was particularly talented growing up at it. I just wanted it, and I went to classes in the summer, all kinds of bullshit, because I just wanted to do it. And so I would, it's a life of going to your high school reunion and they're like, "What do you do?" And you're like, "I'm a writer." They're like, "What do you write?" And you're like, "I'm going to leave. Time to go." Um, but it's that sense of passion and purpose. You need to find it and be like, this is my real job. I'm an elf making comics in the night if I have to be. But that's it. So
Okay, so we'll stop that there. But I just wanted to sort of um, talk about this idea of being a writer as something like a endurance race. And I think that the thing is when you have very good ideas, which I think a lot of people do, but when you have very good ideas, you have to make sure to put the time in to get all the work done. And sometimes that means writing late at night. Sometimes that means um, that you're gonna have to be working another job that you don't like for a time before your writing kicks off, um, which is sort of the place I'm in right now. But he talks about writing isn't just like when inspiration strikes you. And I think that is just a really, um, I think there's just a lot to that, um, where it's like you want to make stuff. That's cool. I want you to make stuff, but you're gonna have to put the work in. You can't just, be running around. And it's like maybe you don't want to make stuff enough for the price, so to speak, to be worth it. And it's like, well, if that's the case for you, then, fair enough. But I think a lot of you have just something that will benefit the entirety of the world around you. So I want you to um, just push through and do the work and write terrible stuff, write bad scripts. A lot of my animations I've done, you know, they're uh, they're a start. They're a start to something that I hope will grow to be something much bigger. But yeah, they're a start. So, start somewhere, write bad scripts, rewrite bad scripts, rewrite bad scripts. I'm writing actually a script to an animation right now, and I'm on draft 6 of that script. So I've went back, refined it 6 times, which some might say it's too many times. But for me, I'm like, it doesn't quite end up being what I want it to be. It hasn't quite reached that yet. So I think draft number 6, I'll get it out there. But again, it's like, sometimes you have to push through the writer's block and just sit there and write and stay up late and work on it as hard as you can. Um, but yeah, so with that being said, you know, you can stay up late writing, just don't forget to brush your teeth.